Hello, welcome. This is my one and only Tea with Tasha for 2025. I just wanted to pop back in so I could at least say I did one video for 2025. For most of the year, my life has felt like I couldn't catch the cat's tail. Like it was almost like, oh, right there, I can get it, and I just never could. I was waiting for things to settle down, and they just never did. So I want to show you one of the reasons why it was kind of busy is because my one of my best girlfriend's son became a single father. Like found out when the baby was being born that he had a son and he had to file papers to get custody, and it just was like he was a single father. The mom is not in the picture, and so me and my husband stepped in to be surrogate grandparents so that the baby could have two sets of grandparents. So it's Uncle Papa and TT Gigi. So this is my bundle of joy. Come on, man. Hey, hey. You say, hey. You see, look. You see, look. You see, look. You say, hey. You say, hey. So this is Isaiah, and this is my first grandparenting experience, and I see why people just give their grandkids Doritos and ice cream because they just have your heart. And so this has been our first year. We've been helping out, keeping them and babysitting and overnights and bottles and Pampers and man, everything. And teaching my nephew, Justin, how to be a father and just how to care for an infant. And it was just kind of an experience where he was like thrown into it. And, just one day you were a whole dad, and he did an amazing job. He really learned how to don't leave. He learned how to do everything he had to do. Sorry. And he just did it. He just stepped up to the plate like a young man should. And it's just been such a blessing to have this little one. He's been such a blessing, but it's been a very busy, chaotic year. So next month in January, he turns 1. So we are so thrilled and excited for him to just have a good life, in spite of. And he's been such a blessing to everybody. I see what, grandkids and the joy that they bring. It's just an awesome experience. So I'm going to go ahead and finish. Babe, can you take them? After you wait a minute. So that was my January. Like I had said that I was going to take January off to just take a break, but that happened January 15th, and it just kind of took off from there. We ended up having like a big baby shower, and the village showed up and really was just amazing with bringing Pampers and wipes. Like we had the whole living room just filled to the top of the wall with Pampers and wipes and clothes and everything he needed for the better part of a year. I think he still has a few boxes of things, but it's just been an amazing experience, just help supporting him throughout that process of being just a young father, 19 years old, and just, man, having to be a single dad. So we all stepped in to try to, what you doing? No. Sorry. I'm going to tell you about him in a minute. That's my son. So that was January, and like I said, we kept him like once a week, overnights, everything. But it was just a wonderful experience, and just being in a village and helping, and just the love that he brings. His nickname is Smirk because he smiled and was so happy from the very beginning. And he just smiles all the time. Such the sweetest baby, and just has brought so much unity and love to our little village. So that's baby Isaiah. So that was January. February, I think I still was trying to get life to settle down and still trying to like get everything together, and it just wouldn't happen. Like even right now, cooking, I had to stop and make a video. This camera is propped up on cups because I cannot find my tripod. I cannot find anything like, and we had to do the video before the baby went down for his nap that I'm supposed to be trying to take with him because it's New Year's Eve and we're going to stay up late. So life is what it is, and it's just been so busy. And I've been waiting for it to settle down and it won't. So here I am. It just is what it is. It took me a long time to accept that. I think it was October before I kind of settled into, okay, this is what life is. I just need to adjust. And that's just what it is. So let's say February, I think my son started to spin out. And I will say that last year in September, he gave his life to the Lord. So praises be to God that that happened and that he did it on his own and was on path. But in February, he started to spin out, just getting into all the trouble in the whole wide world. Like, I just cannot even believe the amount of trouble that he could get into, just trying to be grown and trying to adult and trying to figure out. And I think he took February, March. I mean, it was just a summer. And it just kind of, oh my goodness, just everything that it has been. Like 2025 has been amazing for all of the transformations, all of the amazing things, but very traumatic for all of the things that happened. Like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this is happening. Like, I think February is my son spinning out. And he, had his spin out up until maybe a month ago. Like, it just would not end. And then March was the baby shower. April, I don't even remember. I just remember always just trying to get control of my life and just feeling like it was so busy and I could not get it to settle down. Goodness gracious. But it's been a very, God has revealed a lot of who is for you, who is not, a lot of just relationships, friendships, and just a lot of growth. But I guess growth does come pain. But it's been one of those years. I think after a while, I started to just use exercise and trying to stay on my path and my journey to get myself together. So every time I got upset, instead of screaming, because I was screaming and I'm not even like that person, but I would just be so upset and I just started to go walk. And every single time, so there would be times I would pull up to the house and I'd be like, no. And I would turn around and just go back walking. Like, I have to focus this energy on myself and focus this on doing something different, responding differently. Because, like, chaos and insanity, like doing the same exact thing, thinking you're going to get a different result, and it's not going to happen. So I just started focusing that energy on that and just really focusing. And I started taking, for anybody who doesn't know me, in my weight loss journey, I had weight loss surgery like in 2022 and it helped and got me on path, but I kind of was stuck. So I did start taking Wegovy like in June and I've lost like 40 pounds since then. So I can say for the first time in probably 25 years that I am below 200 pounds and it just feels amazing. So if my shirt look all big, this is probably the only time I'll be able to wear this shirt because it's like an extra large. So, like, I cannot believe that. Like, I am so excited for just the grace that God has given me and just the fortitude to keep on going and not give up and to keep on going and not give up because whatever my life is what I pray for. Like, I have been divorced from my first marriage for 7 years, like this month. And I was like, my whole life is different and it is an amazing life, like one that I just love and comfortable in and, worked hard for and just have faith that God will give it to me. And I was like, for anybody that if you want to change your life, you can. It just may take you longer because you was in the wrong spot or a different spot for a long time. But once you surrender to God and get on path, man, it can be amazing. It really can be. And I'm just like, wow, like to see my dreams come true in front of my face. Like me and my husband created a vision board in December of last year. And we just came together and prayed over that board. And I would say half the things on there have happy faces on them because they have come to fruition. Like things are happening. Like we took a trip for our honeymoon and it was amazing. And we bought a new car unexpectedly, just things happening and happening. And it has been an amazing things. And, we're preparing for 2026 and with that vision board and just kind of adding a few things but just taking the time to be ever so grateful for all that God has given us and all that he has done. Like just for how long I have struggled with my weight to finally really be winning. Like I didn't, man, I couldn't tell you how I was going to get here, but I know that I would. I was not giving up on myself. I remember one day I had like a waist trainer on, and my daughter said, "Man, Ma, you ain't never giving up on your curves." I said, "Certainly not. Not ever. I'm going to be the best version of myself. Get rich or die trying. Like, I am going to do it." And it feels so good to, like, man, be able to fit things in my closet. And some of the stuff, like I had to put a big bag of clothes in a bag because I just couldn't even fit them no more. Like everything was loose and everything was baggy. And I was like, man, it's happening. Like I am so excited. Just, man, my life is everything that I prayed for and more, and just allowing. I think this year I had to just allow people to be themselves and allow my young adults to grow up and leave my youngest daughter be. Like, let them be who they are. Like, you've taught them, they either gonna do it or they not. You've raised them, they gonna listen or they not. And I could see them growing and developing, and they getting it. Like, they getting it. But it's been a road. This year in September, it was like Labor Day, and everything was real cool. And like, man, okay, I can start back. And literally, my son was like, I can't breathe, like, I can't catch my breath. And we started out at the urgent care. That was like at noon. By 9 o'clock, he said he still couldn't breathe. We raced over to one hospital. We was there for a few hours. Like, it was so crazy. Like, I have said this year, like, you can't even make this stuff up. Like, you cannot make this stuff up, the stuff that has happened. Like, literally, we're in the emergency room, and we go to close the door because we can hear some commotion. It is like a lady in the emergency room that has had she's a drunken driver. She has hit somebody, and both people are in the hospital. The person that she hit is like in critical condition, and of course she walked away without a scratch, drunk, high, everything. And the police are escorting her to the bathroom, and the bathroom was right next to the room that my son was in, because they had to watch her do a urine test. And I was like, you cannot even make this up. And then, so we're trying to keep us in the room because, like, the families, like, they're getting into it because, she just then wounded somebody family. Like, you cannot make this up. So we in the hospital, my son can't catch his breath, and he literally starts to have like a slow asthma attack. It wasn't like a all of a sudden kind of thing, but he could not catch his breath. And so by 10 o'clock, they tell me that they have to transfer him to another hospital because they don't have a pediatric unit, and he looks like he needs to stay overnight. So normally, if my son has a breathing issue, we go urgent care, get some prednisone, we good. Maybe if we go to the hospital, we get a couple breathing treatments, we good. This time, no go, wouldn't happen. So we leave that hospital, and they have to put all this stuff and transport them. And so at 1 in the morning, we are driving over to another hospital that I've been to that, okay, I think they're going to get it together. I'm comfortable. So we get to that hospital, and they just proceed to like give him so many drugs. And mind you, this is what he's doing. Like, he's heaving. And this went on for like two days. So we went to the hospital on a Sunday night. Literally, like, I have on like some lounge clothes. I have nothing because I'm not expecting that I won't come home for a week. Like, I couldn't even believe that this was even happening. It was like being in a nightmare. So we go to the next hospital. They transfer us by ambulance. So mind you, my car is in Bolingbrook. Now I'm going to Naperville. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to be good because this is a good hospital. They have a pediatric, like they have a Ronald McDonald ward or, floor or whatever. So we go there, and we get there maybe about 1 o'clock. And so they working on them, and they working on them. And I keep asking them, like, is he going to be okay? And they looking at me, and they just saying, I mean, we're going to do all we can. And I'm like, what you mean you're going to do all you can? Like, okay, I'm trying not to like panic, and I'm just kind of praying and, thinking, okay, we here, we going to be good. And so they put a mask on him, like I think a CPAP, and they giving him all these drugs and all these drugs and all these drugs. And I like lay down on the couch like at 5:30. I close my eyes, and the next time I wake up, it's like 8 in the morning, and they shaking me like, are you mom? And I'm like, yeah. And they like, hey, you need to pick another hospital because he needs more care than what we can give him. Now, mind you, I'm in a good hospital and they tell me this. And I literally just fall out on the floor crying, like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm crying. And so they was like, oh, is this somebody we can call? And they was like, they called the chaplain on me because that's how like the mess I was. And they was like, oh, call the chaplain because I'm like just falling apart. Like, what do you mean? And so I pulled myself together and I'm like, okay, so I don't want to go to O'Hare. But and then they said, for your journey. And I'm like, what do you mean journey? Like, what does this mean? Like, I'm thinking like we gonna go home. And literally we chose the hospital in Oak Lawn and they had a bed and they came from Oak Lawn to get us and they had to transport us. And so all the medication, breathing treatments, everything that he had, they had to put him on to be able to, it was basically a rolling ambulance intensive care unit. And so I'm sitting like thinking I'm just in a nightmare, like this cannot be happening to me. Like, Lord, I cannot lose my son. Like, what is happening? And so he's kind of out of it because he can't talk or breathe. And so I don't think he ever lost consciousness, but he was so heavily sedated and so heavily just had a breathing like a CPAP mask on. So we get to the Oak Lawn. So what day is this? This is Monday. This is Monday. So we went on Sunday. This is Monday. And I'm in an ambulance. And my husband had to like bring me. I said, bring me like a change of clothes. Like bring me everything I need because they're telling me that this is a journey and we have to go to Oak Lawn and this and the third. And so he came up there and was there, and brought everything I needed. And, him having to pack things because, I'm thinking I'm going to go back home. And I did not go back home for a week. It just was crazy. So we go to Oak Lawn. And I'm in the ambulance the whole time and I'm crying like I cannot even breathe. So I had to create a text to send to my girlfriend and to send to family because I didn't like this is happening. I can't, I need support. I need help. I need y'all to pray. This is serious. My son's life is in a balance. And so I just called my girlfriend and I just cried the whole time I was home because her son had had a similar children's hospital experience and she knew it. And I mean, I can't even imagine. Oh my God, this was like just crying for 30 minutes on the phone. And she just, prayed with me and talked me through it and was like, man, her husband had to take that same ride. And so then she came to the hospital and brought us food. And like, I can't even think, I can't eat, I can't do anything. I'm like, what is happening? But thank God for God, sparing his life and for for him being able to get the care that he needed because it took them days. Like this is Monday, this is Tuesday. I want to say by Wednesday. No, maybe it was Tuesday, one of those days because of the CPAP, breathing all that air in and not being able to get any air out. His lung collapsed. And so, I'm up every night because I stayed every night for like 7 days. So I'm on this cot. My whole life is just stopped. Like it's just crazy. And so I'm, going on rounds with the doctors. They trying to explain to me what's happening. When they say the doctor had explained it in regular terms and it was fine because it didn't sound as bad. But another nurse said collapsed lung and then I just burst into tears. Like, what do you mean? And so essentially what it means is that air has gotten into a space in his lung where air doesn't belong. So that's what that means. But when you hear that, you're thinking, oh my God. And it was very serious. Like they had to insert a chest tube to get the air out. And he had to do all this stuff like local anesthetic in the bed. It just, we had to leave the room. And this was just like, I cannot even believe this is my life right now. So after the chest tube, things started to turn a corner. And I think he started to really get better by Wednesday. But it was still just very much, his life was just in the balance. It was so, oh my God. But by Friday, I think that was maybe the first time that he was breathing without assistance, for a week, for 5 days, he couldn't even breathe on his own. So it was a very, man, just even thinking about that, like that was, ooh. But with the help and support of God and family, people carried me, people in their prayers and my family support carried me through that, because I could not carry that alone. That was just way too much. And then getting him home, it was like once he got better, it took them days to just wean him off the amount of medication that he was on. Like, it was so crazy. He had helium tanks in his room. It was some new treatment that they were giving him, that the helium helped with the breathing, whatever it was. And he's so, mind you, he's mad and angry because he said every time they touch me, it hurt. He had to have magnesium and like treatments every 4 hours, and they burn. So he would be screaming. And like one day, he threw his stress ball clean across the room. Like, they had to bring the social workers and a support, like the lady playing a violin, to calm him down. When I tell you, they gave him all the treatment in the whole wide world because he was just so upset and everything hurt. And it was just, I have never seen somebody go through so much of just physical pain in such a short amount of time. He was probably 125 pounds. He was down to like 105 when he left the hospital. It was a mess. Just even like the last day when we finally got transferred to like a regular room, because he couldn't go from the ICU to home, so they had to transfer him to a regular room. We sitting just trying to detangle his hair. Like, it was so matted from laying on his back for a week. Goodness gracious me, that was so much to go through. And then now my back is hurting because I'm sleeping on a cot. And the last day, so he had asthma attack and he had a cold. And so whatever this strain of flu was, part of it was respiratory, but part of it was gastrointestinal. So the respiratory part was which took him out because his lung was weaker, made it difficult for him. But the last day, it was the gastrointestinal part. So the last day, he had such bad stomach cramps. He was like screaming out, throwing up, so bad that they had to give him medicine like that they give pregnant women to stop stomach cramps and stop nausea. It was insane. And the last night, I'm in this room and my feet feel like they're burning. And the next day I realized that whatever this little cot is, had bed bugs in it. And if anybody knows me, this is the worst thing that could happen to me, bed bugs. It was insane. It just felt like the attack just was insane. Bed bugs. So now I have all these bites on my hands and arms and legs. It was insane. But thank God that all of my clothes from this week were in a garbage bag. Like, I always put all my clothes. So I was able to like take a shower, change my clothes, and put my clothes in this garbage bag. And thank God I did not take anything home with me. But I said that last day, every day was rough, but that last day was probably the worst, just because we were both in so much pain. It was just the worst pain. And then to finally on Sunday, we went home, and then we had to get his strength back and get him back, I think he had to sleep downstairs with me and my husband. Like, we had to watch him and listen to him, just making sure he could be okay. And it just was a lot. But thank God, to God be the glory. He does not look like what he went through. I think the only thing that he has is like a little scar under his ribs where they had to put the chest tube in, probably the size of a pencil head. Not even that big. And, just thank God that he came through it, that he just came through it. It wasn't just one of those years. I can't even make stuff up, like just the amount of, it would be like all this stuff, and then we have a party, and then we have a gathering, and then we have this. It's like, I have not hosted more this year than I was like, oh my goodness. And this is the thing, I had said that I didn't want to have any parties. I didn't want to have anything. I didn't want to celebrate no more birthdays, just have a simple dinner. But things just happened differently. And it just is what it was. And I think I have learned to just surrender. Just what it is, to take the time out to do what I need to do. Like, literally, I was going to set up my podcast room in this one room. I had it all set, and that changed. And now I have to change my whole plan. Like, even right now, I don't even know where my tripod is. I don't know where none of my stuff is. I can't even tell you where it's at. I'm very organized. I don't even know. Like, I just have to start from scratch. And I think just adjusting to this has been a level of intensity this year that I was not accustomed to and that I wasn't used to functioning. I'm used to things being in order and this and that, and I could not get it together. Like, I think I went on a girls' trip to my a girlfriend's house in Kansas, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful trip, a relaxing time. And I think that was the first time that I was able to really catch my breath and really catch the cat's tail and really relax. And that was an amazing trip, and I'm so grateful to my girl for inviting us out. It was so awesome, and just to be able to rest, and I was able to get some clarity. But I think even that, I was like having to pack the night before, and that's just not like me. But I have learned that life is what it is, that it's very intense, that you don't really get a reprieve. You may not get a moment to take a break. It just is what it is. Just like now, I had to stop. I just finished doing a couple heads, doing hair. I had to stop what I was doing. Like, let me make this video because I can't procrastinate because I still have to cook, and I need the baby to be in the video to show where I've been. And now he finna fall asleep because it's nap time. Like, just you can't even make it up. And just it just is what it is. But I'm learning to just go with the flow. Like, to just go with the flow and just know that whatever the journey is, whatever God is preparing for me for, whatever He's doing, that He's gonna give me the bandwidth to be able to do it, to be able to sustain it, to be able to, all the tasks in front of me, everything I got to do. He'll make me a way that I have enough energy, enough time, enough resources, whatever I need. It just is what it is. And I had not known anybody to have a sweet, peaceful, quiet 2025. Like, I know one girl, she came into the shop and we was like fussing at her about not taking care of her hair. And I was like, girl, like, you got to do better. Da, da, da. And she was like, my whole life fell apart. And we were like, what happened? And literally, her daughter she found out by taking her 5-year-old daughter, set of twins, a boy and a girl. She took them to the doctor, an eye doctor appointment. And the doctor said that she has pressure behind her eye. Literally had to go from the doctor's office to the emergency room. They was calling to let her know the baby had within hours had to have emergency surgery. She had like a cancerous lump behind her. I mean, just crazy. Can you even believe that? And I was like, oh my God. And so that's when I looked at what my life was, and it felt like it was falling apart and all these things was happening. And I said, well, let me be grateful that I just have teenagers that I spend now, because that experience being in the hospital was for a week. Hers is for the better part of the year. And then the specialists that you have to go to over and over again that are far away. It is just an overwhelming experience. And my heart goes out to people who have children that have illnesses, and just like, oh my goodness, this is just St. Jude's and all of them, they will get my money every year, because that is a real experience. Like, just a real experience. And it has just been, oh my goodness. Like, I have not known anybody to just have a peaceful year. And so everybody I know has had like a really traumatic something has happened. Good, bad, just goodness gracious. But I can say that God is showing Himself to be true in every circumstance, because I have not had more things, good things happen in one year in my whole life. Like, I thought 2019 was such an amazing year, finally getting my dream home. But this year has been amazing, but very transformative, and very much growth. So, what amount of growth comes pain. But it is what it is. I'm so grateful to be in this place. I can't even imagine what happened. Like, even with the baby coming over now, my mother is coming out of her room and being happy. And she's just so, is the baby coming? And, coming out of her room and coming downstairs. And I mean, just the strides that she's making. Happy, but we put her on the vision board. Compliant, happy, healthy, peaceful. And it's all coming into play. Everybody is at peace. And it's just an amazing experience. Like, God is in the business of restoration, and He is not done. He is not done. I mean, I am so excited for 2026, but I am so excited for this year because it has grown me up and my family, my husband, my kids, grandma, everybody, is growing up and falling into place. And I'm just so excited for the year that's coming because I'm going to make me a room or a space so that I can get back to business and get back to where I'm supposed to be, and having a space where I can do the videos and do them in a designated area so that I don't have to like try to set up every time because that's it, a task in and of itself. So I'm trying to get some things together. I got a new set, a new chair, a new everything. So it should be really nice, really pretty. But I just want to continue to share. I think I'm going to start sharing some cooking videos because that seems to be something I am always doing. Just cooking, 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 like every time I turn around. But it is what it is. I've just learned it just is what it is. I could have 10 to 15 people in the house just unexpectedly. People stop by. It just is what it is. But I am so grateful for this fellowship. I'm so grateful for the extended family. I'm so grateful for all that God has given us. It has been an amazing, transformative year. I can't even remember what happened after September. October was a girls' trip. November, don't remember. I think Thanksgiving. I think I cooked all the food in the whole wide world. That's my one day or holiday that I cook a whole lot. But it was an awesome experience. Holidays have been good, peaceful, and this is one thing that I have realized, that in all the things that I have prayed for, that I have desired, that I have wanted, everything is not going to happen in the time frame that you want it to happen. I think that was one of my lessons, that it's not going to happen in the time frame that it's going to happen, because Rome wasn't built in a year, but it was built and it's going to happen. I see things happening now more so when I took my hands off of it and I just trusted God, and it just took longer. It just took more time, and that's okay, because I remember right before I met my husband, I said, you know what? Maybe the man that God has for me, maybe he's not ready. Maybe that he's whatever he's going through. And I said, and that's okay. I'm going to go sit down and wait. And literally within 2 weeks, I met him. And at the time, he was losing his mom. His life was changing and it was transforming in ways that he did not expect. But it happened in God's timing. And I think that's where I had to learn things will happen and they'll happen in God's time. And things will happen in a way that is meant to be. Like I literally remember in January, I was in Walmart and I saw like a Valentine's Day shirt for a baby. And I remember thinking, oh, I want like a baby and around. And I like, man, I miss that. Like I miss, because my kids are older. My daughter will be 20, my son will be 18, and my youngest is 14. So I missed having that experience. Like I used to, my kids had a t-shirt and a shirt for every holiday, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, and I just missed that. And literally, I said that, and I like had that feeling, and baby Isaiah showed up in 2 weeks. It was just, I don't even think, I think it was days. It was literally days. And I was like, wow, 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 wow. Like, God is amazing. Because, truth be told, my husband wanted a baby. And I was like, I am just too old to have another baby. I cannot do that. But God still gave us that. Like, we still have this baby that we get a chance to be in his life and help raise him. And he has been just a blessing. It has just been such an amazing experience. Like, wow, gave us exactly what we wanted. And I realized that our union gave us both what we wanted and what we needed. Him being a single father and me being a mom, he needed that, to have On's hand, mom and more around in her life. And it's just been an amazing experience, being at peace with her biological mom, like never having any problems. Always just, man, I just could not ask for a better bonus daughter. Just could not have asked for a better one. Being able to do all the girly girl things that I like to do, because my daughter, after a certain age, she wasn't on that. She was like, no, I do not want to do this anymore with you. And so I still get to do it. And it's been fun. It really has been, dressing her up and taking pictures and doing stuff. And it's just been, it's a lot of transformation, a lot of growing up, but it is a beautiful life that I could not even ask for more. It's just been a blessing. And so I'm learning and just, man, whatever it is, like you can't make it up. Like some of the stuff that happened, you just can't even make it up. You just be like, wow, this is amazing. Like I'm sure a lot of us have looked at the news over 2025 and just like, is that the TV for real? Is that really happening? Like I remember when my husband was looking at all the ice stuff and he thought that was in like Broadview, Colorado or something. I said, no, babe, that's down from the shop. Like that's 5 minutes from the shop. And he was like, oh my God, is that right? I said, yes, this stuff is happening in real life, in real time, to people that we really know. Like clients would come into the shop and just be upset because this is happening in their neighborhood, down street from their house. I think recently, like helicopters were in their neighborhood, like at 4 in the morning. Just disruptive. Like I cannot even believe that this has been 2025. But one thing I do know is that we over here, we surrender to God, and God is still in control over our lives because we allow Him that. And that God is still in the business of blessing. And one thing I can say, whatever you want to do in your life, you have better get busy doing it. And what I have learned is that I am my biggest and best investment. That every time when I would try to micromanage somebody else, I always said, you know what, stop. Focus that energy on yourself, like you've told them, you've taught them, you've done whatever. Focus on yourself. And that's where you're going to get your most success. And that has been the truth every single time. I've had more wins because I've been focusing on me and that I have been prioritizing myself first. Like I'm going to work out before I cook. I'm going to work out and before I do this. I'm going to prioritize me because if I don't put the mask over my own face first, who's going to, if I fall down, who's going to take care of everything? And I've learned to do that. And I'm so grateful that I have a husband that supports that in me. Like I remember one time, I think I stumbled or something. He was like, girl, be careful. I need you. Can't nothing happen to you. And I'm like, Sean, I'm okay. But he's so protective and just an awesome support and an awesome partner. Like even with, taking care of the baby, like if we put the baby down, I might go to Costco, I might do this, but it's been so nice to just have such a good partner in that, helping this baby because he's a handful sometimes, but he's such a blessing and so happy. And man, I am so blessed to be a part of his life. And I'm just so thrilled that we were given that opportunity to be a part. And so exciting, playing his first birthday. And it really is amazing. Again, I'm so proud of my nephew. Nephew, if you're watching, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you hanging in there and figuring it out as a single father. It has been amazing to watch him grow up and continue to grow up and provide for his son and take care of his son and be a hands-on father. So, man, 2026, I look forward to her. I'm finna go finish cooking this dinner, these black-eyed peas, because we need some good juju in 2026. But I'm going to get back on my videos, back sharing, and just, man, I miss y'all. I can say that I miss y'all. I've missed the love and support, and it's been so crazy because I could be in the store and I see somebody, they like, when you going to get back? And I'm saying, I'm coming. I got a new grandbaby. I got all this stuff, but I'm coming. And it's been so nice because every time I would run into somebody, they would be so encouraging, like, we miss you, get back to it. And that warms my heart. Forever, whoever it does reach, forever it does help, man, I just love to be the vessel that's helping. And I'm so grateful for just the opportunity and the space and the wisdom that God has given me because it's just God given. So happy New Year. Happy New Year. Whatever your new year is going to be, focus on it, vision it, put your hands on it, speak it, write it down, say it, keep it before your eyes. Never give up because whatever your life is going to be, it's going to be one you create for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. So happy New Year until we meet again in 2026. I love y'all. I can't wait to get back and get focused and get some more content and do some more fun things. I think I'm going to show how to cook, how to, do some simple things around the house, decorating, because I've been doing a lot of that. I love to transform a room. So I will see y'all soon. Get your goals, write them down, speak them into existence, and Happy New Year. And I will see you in 2026. Love y'all.